All right, welcome back to another episode of Quarter Horse Customs. If you saw a little short or you saw on TikTok or on Facebook, we got into Hot Rod Drag Week. But we got a big old predicament. The Reaper Stang over there she's street worthy. She's got the motor, she's got a trans, she's got everything, but she's got a rear seat delete. And that's the reason because of that is the roll cage in the back comes down through the back seats. Can't put a car seat back there, so we can't take the little one. I don't want to be in Indianapolis and something happens to the baby girl and we got to go get her, but our truck and trailer's down in Columbus and we're in the race car trying to huff it back up to Upper Sandusky. So I had the brilliant idea of let's just build another car. So this car is going to be codenamed Project Apocalypse or the Apocalypse Project, whichever one you guys like better. Let me know. We got here another Foxbody Mustang. It's got the start of a roll cage. Other than that, it needs everything. We don't have a motor. We don't have transmission. We don't have a rear end in this. We don't even have control arms. K-member's messed up, so it needs replaced. But it does have the start of a roll cage. Okay. It does have a title, so we can make it a street car. And it does have a dashboard. I've already been busting my rear end on rust repair. I have been up in here for the better end of a week now. Mind you, I've done my job. You know, I got to go to work half the time too. But I've put in patch panels here, some down there. Little teeny tiny one here, which I should have just closed the hole up. I did cut a hole there and down there intentionally because I wanted to get any of the crap that's down in the frame rails out of there. Had a few patch panels here and up here, and again a few right here. I've noticed a lot of times the sound deadening in the back of your Fox tends to hold moisture, and I've found these holes in the last 3 cars I've worked on. My wife's car, my Reaper Stang, and this car here. So if you're working on a Foxbody and you have the interior out, go ahead and pull out that sound deadening and check back there, because I found these holes a lot. And before you go, I wouldn't have touched that car, it's too rusty. Well, the rust's gone now. So, had to touch up a few holes back here, which are common from your gas tank touching up there. Put this bar in here because I'm going to do a spare tire delete back here. And I think we're going to go ahead and make it so we can open it up so I can put, my racing outfit down in the spare tire hole so it's not completely wasted space. I do need to get up and finish the front bars to finish off the halo. So that's going to be coming. I think I'm going to have some special bars bent for it so it can be nice up against the A-pillar and out of my view of the windshield. She's not a bad looking car. Okay. Got the 4-eye look that I like. Somebody already swapped over the front clip to 4-eye. So thank them for that. I've also been working up over here. There was some nasty rot up in here. Went ahead and cut this open to cut this out. Got all up in there. Don't judge my welds. Okay. It's stuck together. It's not going anywhere. I did have to replace this piece here. We went in and replaced all 3 sections all the way through. That's a lot better now. Did have to do a little bit here on the pinch weld, but that should be nice and solid now, at least for what we're doing. It's a race car. We got to find some seats for this. Got to swap it over to a manual. We've already got some back seats. As far as down here, I've gone through and I've welded up the torque boxes so they're nice and stronger. Welded up to my patch, welded up inside here, all up around there. Back in the main lower torque boxes, I've got them all welded up in here. Welded all the way along the seam here, up in here, all the way around here, in the back, to the frame, around the bottom, the edges. So the wife found a hitch so we can put it up here so we can pull a trailer, hopefully. Well, babe, where'd you find the hitch for a Foxbody?
It's not a Foxbody hitch, it's an SM95 hitch up to a new edge. Technically a 94 to an 04, technically.
So what the heck are we going to do with this then?
Hopefully bolt it onto our car.
But it's for a new edge.
Still a Foxbody platform.
Yeah, but the bumpers are different.
We're going to have Kyle modify it.
Great. All right, so honestly, I've already looked at it a little bit, and it's really not that hard of an idea. I'll show you. So I was already looking at it when we had the bumper on. I'm going to clean up the bumper we had on here because it had some scale on it. But when I was looking at it, this guy should be able to fit right onto the bumper. It lines up with my frame rails. I'm just going to have to drill some extra holes in the frame. So hopefully we should be able to drill a hole in here, the hole in here, and mount this hitch right in, and we have a hitch. So
Gonna fall. Maybe not.
stay. So hopefully this will work to pull our mini micro camper for our drag and drive. Next few things we got to work on is we got to wire wheel this whole thing. Wow, that's going to be fun. And then I'm thinking we're just going to throw some tractor paint in there. It's designed to sit outside. The car's never going to really sit outside, except for when it's on a drag and drive. Really shouldn't see too much rain. So I'm not going to go with the whole Pour 15 and all that stuff because, well, I just can't afford it. That stuff's expensive. Like really expensive. So can we make a $40 gallon of tractor paint work? So basically, I'm going to bring you guys along with the entire build process of this car. From putting together my rear end, which is an 8.8 with a spool put together by Bart. Thank him so much for that. Gave us a great deal on rebuilding that. We're going to put C-clip eliminators and 31 spline axles in that, get that put in here. We're going to put in airbags into the springs. We're going to get some BBK drag springs for it out of the Reaper because, I mean, I bought them for that car, so we're going to slide them over to this car. We're going to completely build an entire wiring harness for this car, from the main battery terminal, the shut-off switch. We're going to make our own fuse box. We're going to make our own relay bases, our own switch panels. I'm putting my own gauges in here. We're probably going to go with Equus again. I'm already looking into some. The trick is making sure I can find a fuel level gauge that's going to work with the Ford 7310 ohm resistance. I think I found a set. I was looking at Glow Shift, started looking at the reviews. Man, that got scary fast. They look cool, don't get me wrong. But man, they need to work on their programming because I've heard nothing but bad things about how the tack and speed are wrong. And well, if I'm going down the track, I want an accurate tack. And if I'm going down the road, you know, looking like a race car, I definitely want to know how fast I'm going. So we're probably going to go with Equus. We got a set in the white car over there. They were cheap. They look great. They've worked great. I think I've only had one problem, but it was a shorted wire that killed the gauge, so I'm not really mad about that. It was my fault. We're going to build an entire interior for this car. You know, I love the race cars, but I like them to look like cars still. So we're going to get some quarter panels, interior, carpet, spare tire delete. We're going to have a rear seat in this car because, you know, little one's got to go along with us. We're going to work on getting a dash pad. We're going to make a custom gauge bezel. We're going to do a center console delete again, so that way Eleanor can actually get back up into her seat. We're going to make our own seat brackets. We already got some seats. Here's a video on that. So as you guys know, we're building a drag and drive car, and somebody says the plastic seats from the Reaper just are not going to work for however many miles we got to drive. So I'm trying to think of where we might get a seats that are comfortable without breaking the bank. And I remembered back when we were working on my buddy's car, he has a set of seats that he wanted in his car that we ended up finding him a GT seat for instead of putting race seats in, you know. But he's got these guys, which should be comfier-ish than those plastic seats. Here's the motor spot we did for his car. Painted up the engine bay, fixed the rust hole over there, fixed the rust hole over here. Where'd the seat go? I thought you left with two.
It's in there.
Okay.
I haven't put it in yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to get that running right before I worry about the interior. I pulled the carb back off because it's acting up again.
It does need a carburetor. But these seats should work perfectly for what we want. So big thanks out to Jackson for hooking us up with those seats. Those are going to be a lot more comfortable than the plastic ones. Then we're going to get in and we're going to put in our engine, transmission. Still got to figure out what we're going to do for a driveline, whether I'm going to use a 387 stroker out of the Reaper and give the wife a 351 Windsor, or if maybe I'm just going to do, you know, a cheap, dirty rebuild on a 351 Windsor. You know, I've got some X3R3 heads over there, maybe get a decent camshaft, but I'm really thinking we need to push the limits of that stroker. See what it can do, right? What do you guys think? Wife's back there saying, you know, take a 351 Windsor and just. I think we should try out the stroker. Maybe, you know, maybe we run the stroker and can we make it all 5 days and then maybe, you know, hit it with a little bit of the Laffy gas? Huh? I like that idea. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet. Still got to get used to it. But I think we have an excellent platform. I mean, I do got to figure out how to get a windshield. Do have to find one of those. And then we're going to have to make this car fully street legal again, you know? We got to have headlights, taillights, turn signals, brake lights, all that. But we're going to make our own harness from top to bottom, bring you along with that. I have a way I did the Reaper Stang over there. It worked out pretty well. And I did it for like $50 to $70. You know, I got to adjust for the inflation and everything. But I think we can do it pretty cheap again. I've got a few truck harnesses laying around, so we're going to steal wire out of that too. Dirt and cheap, easy. You know, something that if you guys got a car and you decided you want to go carburetor with it, you know, here's a baseline of what we did. You know, maybe you can copy it or at least have a reference of something that somebody else has done. Because I know that's one problem I have a lot of. If I'm trying to do something and I've not seen it done before, trying to figure out a baseline of like, hey, you know, this was-ish should kind of maybe be right. So we're going to bring you along for that. And then, of course, you know, put in whatever motor and transmission we do put in here. So, you know, Quarter Horse Racing Team is going to be run by 2 white 85 looking, because, you know, front clips have been swapped on both of them, Foxbody Mustangs. So I'm going to be making my own subframe connectors out of some 2x1 metal. You know, for some of you, I know some people have bigger budgets, some people have little. Well, I made my own on the Reaper Stang, and I spent like $36 on a piece of tubing. I mean, the cheapest subframe connector you can get off Amazon is like $86, and I've already seen what happens to those after 5 or 10, 20 years. I mean, here's a clip of the ones I took off of this car. This subframe connector, I don't think is any good, but, you know, go ahead and make yourself a rust circle when you're trying to hide from the car gods. Oh, it's empty. Shot. This all just came out of the other side. Yep, I'm glad I'm replacing on these. Yep, those things were shot. There's a big pile of rust swept up behind the car from those. Ugly. Luckily, it didn't damage the car any, except for a little bit back in the back, but I already patched that up. So we're going to put in new subframe connectors. We're going to make them ourselves. And this whole car is going to be budget, but safety is going to be in mind. That's why we went with this car, because it's got a little bit better of a cage, and we're going to make it a little bit better. I'm going to get a hold of the same machine shop I've been going through to get metal plates and stuff, and they're going to custom bend the tube up. And, you know, I'm sitting here like, ugh, I can't afford $500 to have them make me 2 damn tubes. Went up there, started talking to them. They said it should be shy of $100. So if you guys are working on building a roll cage and you need something made, look into your local machine shop, you know, not the engine shop, you know, the metalworking guys. He has helped us with a lot. We got that hitch that's going to go in there. Probably going to try remaking that hitch. Might even take that up to him and see if he can't help make those swing arms. Because if I can make this thing work, I need to make 3 more. Another major conversion we're doing in this car. That car, I've had nothing but problems with the braking system. There is just, vacuums there, vacuums not. Vacuums there, vacuums not. So I'm going to convert this car to manual brakes. Hopefully it works. You know, I've heard a lot that if it's done right, a lot of good things. I've done some research, talked to a few guys, and I think I found a very, very affordable way to convert this car to manual brakes without breaking the bank. I mean, that's the whole goal of this car. We were on 10 seconds in the quarter mile for less than $10,000. Hopefully we can do it with a T5, because then we'll do it for like almost nothing. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Any ideas you have. I mean, we got a blank canvas here. If you guys have an idea and I like it, we can do it. Let me know now. Thanks for watching.